One of the brightest and most respected minds in the NFL just sounded a red alert regarding our elite pick. There's already a plan laid out on Adam Peters' desk. If two specific talents are not available when it's our turn, the plan is to hit the panic button and make a drastic maneuver to move back on the board. I will reveal exactly who these two golden players are in a moment and what could really happen. But brace yourself, because the insanity doesn't stop there. A behind-the-scenes piece of information just opened the doors to the unthinkable. An absolutely explosive trade could happen in the middle of the draft with our biggest and most hated division rival. Historic hatred could be swallowed by a shocking deal, and I will tell you the details of this madness shortly. And to close this puzzle, the final bombshell. While one of our young talents is obsessed, working to explode with production this year, our offensive leader sent a direct message to the front office about what the philosophy of these picks should be. But for his vision to work, there is a critical condition. A tactical detail so under the radar that 97% of our own fan base is completely ignoring it, and I guarantee that when you discover it, it will change your entire perspective on our offense. And of course, don't forget to leave a like. It's just one click, it's quick, and it's all I ask. With the 7th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders will have the opportunity to add an impact player to their roster. As a fan who follows every move, I know that this pick is absolutely crucial. Unless Washington decides to make a strategic trade, they are left with few draft picks after the trade of Laramie Tunsil that was made in the offseason. That's why if safety Caleb Downs or running back Jeremiah Love are not available, Ben Solak from ESPN is encouraging the Commanders to trade down. If neither Caleb Downs nor Jeremiah Love are available at the 7th pick, the Commanders should trade their draft position, Solak wrote. They lost their 2nd and 4th round picks due to the Laramie Tunsil trade, and they have more needs than their first 2 picks can fill. The Commanders signed running backs Rashad White and Jerome Ford in free agency. However, Love offers Washington a long-term option at the position. Moreover, he is by far considered the best running back prospect in the class and could be selected within the top 5. Over his 41 games at Notre Dame, Love rushed for 2,182 yards and 36 touchdowns. He also made 63 receptions for 594 yards and 6 touchdowns impressively. Love was named a unanimous All-American and winner of the Doak Walker Award in 2025. On the other hand, Downs is considered one of the best defensive players in the class. His position as a safety slightly altered his draft projection among experts. But the capability of Downs to change the outcome of a game is undeniable. Over his 44 games at Ohio State, Downs accumulated 257 tackles, 12 passes defended, and 6 interceptions. He had 2 interceptions in each of his 3 years in college consistently. Additionally, Downs won a national championship with the Buckeyes in 2024, before being named a unanimous All-American. He also won the Lott Trophy and the Jim Thorpe Award in 2025. Washington will certainly not be the only team interested in both players. But if neither of them is available, Washington will have to carefully consider their options. And now, get ready for the possibility of a trade. You will discover how Adam Peters left the door open to negotiate with the Cowboys. Recent rumors suggest that the owner and general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, could make a trade with the general manager of the Cleveland Browns, Andrew Berry, for the Cowboys to move up from the 12th to the 6th position in the 2026 NFL Draft, aiming for a quality defensive player. Meanwhile, the Washington Commanders hold the 7th draft pick. In a press conference on Thursday, the general manager of the Commanders, Adam Peters, acknowledged that he will most likely keep the 7th position in the draft order strategically. However, he also hinted that he would entertain a proposal from an NFC East rival to move up in the draft. What would influence the Commanders' view on a potential draft pick trade with the Cowboys? No, I don't think it influences anything, Peters said about how having a rivalry with a team would affect his decision. Regarding trading draft picks, according to Kevin Patra of the NFL website, obviously, I think there is more scrutiny in those cases, but it certainly doesn't change anything. You know, the reasoning is always, is this the right decision for our team? And if it is, then we will do it. And it doesn't matter who the team is. We have to beat them on Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, regardless of anything. So, for me, it doesn't make much difference. It's simply what is best for our team. Previous reports linked the Cowboys to Ohio State linebacker Sonny Styles, to Miami Hurricanes pass rusher Reuben Bain Jr. and Ohio State safety Caleb Downs. Although it was recently reported that Bain was involved in a fatal car accident when he was a freshman in March 2024, neither the disclosure of this story nor concerns about the length of his arms should cause him to fall beyond the 10th overall pick. Thus, Jones will likely have to move up in the draft order to secure a talent. That could prove to be a replacement for Micah Parsons, who was traded by the Cowboys in August 2025. Are the Commanders open to trading the 7th draft pick? You never know, Peters added about what he may or may not do with the 7th draft pick. You never know, and it will depend on who's available if any team wants to move up in the draft. And then we will have to decide if we want to do that. But I would say that most likely we would keep our position and choose. In summary, it appears that Peters may be waiting to receive an irresistible offer from the Cowboys. And now, get ready for the development. You will find out how Jackery Krosky Merritt is obsessed with details in his second year. At this moment, all eyes are on what the Washington Commanders will do in the NFL Draft. After being extremely active in the free agent market at the start of the 2026 NFL offseason, the Commanders did their homework, filling gaps on both sides of the ball, and they will have the chance to further bolster the roster with their picks in the upcoming draft. Meanwhile, the players have been training individually or in groups to prepare for the upcoming year consistently. And for the current starting running back, Jackery Krosky Merritt, the focus of this preseason has been on refining the small details he couldn't get right in his rookie season as he starts his second season. I'm just analyzing what I didn't do or what I think I could have done better this year, and trying to focus on those details so that the same problems I face don't happen again next year, Krosky Merritt exclaimed to NFL Network. My second year. I'm just looking at what I could have done better and focusing on those details. Doing more as a running back. Krosky Merritt, also known as Bill, had an outstanding rookie season. After being selected by the Commanders in the 7th round of the draft and playing in a rotation scheme at the running back position, he participated in all 17 games, starting 7 and rushing for over 800 yards. With 8 touchdowns impressively, the door is open for Krosky Merritt to expand that production, especially if those more refined details are resolved. As he mentioned, he will have to earn his spot and prove to be a legitimate starter for the Commanders after the acquisition of Rashad White and Jerome Ford in free agency. Ball security, improvement in pass protection, consistency, and greater versatility in the aerial game were the critiques on Krosky Merritt after his rookie year. These are aspects that can be worked on, and it seems he is focusing on these areas while preparing for a promising second year in the league. The Commanders are very optimistic about Krosky Merritt's potential on offense, but they want more from him considerably. The preseason demonstrates this, and if the team opts to select Jeremiah Love with the 7th overall pick in the draft, the group will become even more compact, and the pressure on Krosky Merritt to perform well will increase, and he will have to prove that he can be a valuable complement to Love in the backfield. Terry McLaurin, the Commanders' star, shares his vision for the team's first-round selection. There has been much talk about what the Washington Commanders will do with the 7th overall pick in the upcoming NFL Draft, and we will soon find out what the game plan is as soon as the draft begins. General Manager Adam Peters has not given any hints about the strategy for the first round, but it apparently comes down to 2 options: trade back and acquire draft picks, or stay put and select one of the best players in the draft. Many have expressed their opinions about what Washington should do, but for the first time, we are hearing the opinion of a player from within the locker room. In a recent interview for the podcast Built Different, star wide receiver Terry McLaurin spoke on various topics, not related to football, but also touched on some ideas about what the team could do when it's their turn to pick in the draft. I think we are in a very peculiar situation. I think we can take the best player available, McLaurin said. We've done a great job in free agency so far. When you have a pick in the top 10, I think another receiver, Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, and also some great defensive players from the Buckeyes, we will probably be choosing the best player available. No one seems to know what the Commanders will do when it's their turn, with experts presenting highly divergent predictions about the draft. But McLaurin understands the unique situation the team is in, thanks to a successful preseason. Choosing the best player available at the 7th spot makes all the sense. There will be plenty of options to choose from, and none seem to be someone the Commanders would be unwilling to select. Whether on offense or defense, the Commanders are guaranteed to secure one of the best talents. The positional value has virtually disappeared in the first round this time, with the marquee positions not matching what we've seen in the past. This promises an exciting first round, but there will certainly be teams that won't like the chaos. The Commanders have gaps on both defense and offense, so there's not much to go wrong with a positional pick in the first round. If they want to bolster the offense, Jaden Daniels, Jeremiah Love, or a wide receiver like Carnell Tate would make a lot of sense. And if they opt for defense, they will have even more options at all 3 levels, including also Ohio State players, Caleb Downs, and possibly Sonny Styles. As a fan, I trust that Peters will make the right choice. So, fan, after learning how Ben Solak advises the Commanders to trade back if Downs or Love are not available, understanding that Adam Peters has left the possibility open to trade with the Cowboys, knowing that Jackery Krosky Merritt is detail-obsessed in his second year, and hearing Terry McLaurin say that the Commanders should pick the best player available, which of these situations gives you the most hope? Do you believe the Commanders should really hold on to the 7th pick and choose the best player available, or would it be smarter to trade back, as Ben Solak suggests? And more importantly, Do you trust that Adam Peters will make the right choices in the draft to maximize the opportunity window with Jaden Daniels? Or are we just delaying the inevitable and need more drastic changes in the organization?